So you didn't go to Missouri?
No,
No.
She didn't get them.
I couldn't get there. I couldn't. No, it's just not.
Hmm.
I mean, I got a lot of just discouraging looks, and no encouragement, none whatsoever, either from Daddy or Mom. Nobody. There was no encouragement and kind of discouragement from Mom. She thought I should be staying home and getting married and have kids and whatnot. I mean, that was what they did. That was what she did.
So, as you were growing up, was Tio with you all the whole time, or did he not join until later?
Who?
Tio Juan.
Oh, Tio Juan. Oh, he joined us when I was 11 years old, and my grandmother died. He used to live with her.
Oh,
In Wagamount.
oh, in Wagamama.
In Wagamama,
Yeah.
yeah. And when she died, he had nowhere to go. So Mother took him in. So all those years, he was with our family. And that was the other thing about that back bedroom. I mean, he used to sleep with the boys, and then later he still slept with the boys, but it was a separate room. So he had his cot, and the boys had bunk beds. And then the three of us slept in the back bedroom, and then Mom and Dad had theirs. And the funny part about that house is that one bathroom right next to the kitchen. Right next to the kitchen. And Mother would say, she'd put a table again, she said, she said, when we have company, I don't want people opening the door, and there they are, empinados. I could just see them bending over, as she's putting the turkey in the oven.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And my memory of Tio Juan was always that he was very quiet, but very knowledgeable about
Yeah.
all our birthdays and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do
What a
you
great mathematician too?
right? Do you feel like he was always that way?
In these later years, as I really looked at it and thought about it, I think he may have been autistic,
Oh yeah.
and nobody knew what that was.
Right.
But now we know, what the symptoms are and what they are, and he had a lot of those.
Yeah.
Because he could read, he could write, but he wasn't social at all.
Yes,
There was
but
no.
he had a fantastic memory.
He had a great memory. He was very bright, but as many autistic kids are, and he could remember things, and his memory was wonderful. But he just, when he got discharged from the army, they said he.
He had been
What was
shell
it?
shocked.
We had
No,
PTSD.
it wasn't that so much. It was that he.
That's the excuse we got.
Yeah, but it was because he didn't see battle.
No, but
No.
but what could they say if he was discharged? They were going to say.
What they said was he has a social disability. Social disability.
Right, but
Yeah.
rather than admit that, I remember Mother saying specifically,
Oh,
he
yeah.
has shell. He was in battle.
That's the story that we grew up
Yeah,
with.
That's the story we
yeah,
grew
that's
up
a story,
with.
but that's not
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But that's true. He wasn't he didn't have social skills or.
He had no social skills.
And he was never in combat or anything. You know, I don't
No,
think he
but
even
no,
fired
we
a weapon.
that's
Never
right.
saw any of that. He
It
was
would have
just,
been difficult for him to work in a team.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
difficult because he couldn't carry. I mean, and he got teased. And I think that was one of the things is he got teased and somebody was really bugging him and they got into a fight. And he didn't mind, I mean, he fought back. And so that was kind of the reason that they finally had to discharge him and let him go because they couldn't, it was hard to get him to communicate as to what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad, it's like a
Yeah.
waste. But
Yeah.
But it was one of those things that you just, you live with and you listen to the stories,
Oh, I know.
even though you know better.
Yeah.
You hear the stories, you listen to them, and
It sure is interesting.
pretend you believe them.
Really interesting.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So Mom and I have talked about this. So I don't know, it was about maybe 10 or 12 or something years ago. I remember we were going someplace with you and Bonnie, and you and Mom were talking about Spanish or speaking Spanish, and it occurred to me that when we were growing up, we didn't learn any Spanish.
Right.
The only Spanish that we learned was the Spanglish, from whatever they said. And so I asked Mom about it. Well, because typically your kids would speak Spanish. And so what Mom explained to me was that you were discouraged from speaking Spanish
Right.
as you were
At
growing
school.
up. At school.
At school.
But not at home, or?
Not at home.
Okay.
But I finally asked them later why we hadn't been encouraged to speak more Spanish or to learn it more. We didn't have conversations at home among each other. I mean, maybe when the grandparents came to visit, we would, because they only spoke Spanish. And Mother said it was because they didn't want us to have accents.
And that's what the teachers would say. That's what the nuns said. They didn't want us speaking Spanish. But Spanish was my first language. I mean, I spoke
You
it.
did, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
did
I did.
we? We didn't.
Yeah.
We,
No.
You didn't.
We didn't. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
We understood it, and I think the folks spoke Spanish to
Yeah,
each other.
to each other.
Usually.
And Mother spoke later. It was more Spanglish.
Oh yeah, it was her own
Hi,
brand.
man.
With all the
Manuelita.
curse
¿Cómo
words.
estás? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Vamos a ordenar un cafecito. Well, okay. We'll meet you there.
Yeah.
It was just like this back and forth.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
That's,
She would
that's
say,
good.
"Hi,
That's
Mojito, come on in the kitchens for some chilito."
Yes, some chilito.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah.
And she had good chilito. There's no doubt about that.
Do you speak Spanish or understand more of it? You speak a little bit.
I can understand it, pretty much. Although, I'll have to say, when I try to speak it, I have to wait until my mind switches. And then I can start speaking it. But as long as I'm still in the English mood, I can't speak Spanish. I get it all mixed up. And I get the words mixed up, so. So you have to start thinking Spanish.
My mom had the same experience at her school. They'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
Was that
They were speaking Spanish.
was that just the Catholic schools or was it the public schools?
No,
as
my
well?
mom went to school up in Gainas
Okay.
in elementary, and the teacher up there they would get into trouble.
But the funny thing to me when you talk to Bertha is that her teacher was a local person, a local Spanish speaking person.
Really?
That wouldn't let them speak Spanish in school. Isn't that weird?
And they didn't know the English words for certain things, so they would just mix them up, like an
yeah.
escalator.
Sure.
She always talks about the escalator. Oh, he's going up the escalator.
Well, that's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
That's funny.